Now, sometimes when you are stamping, it's neat to be able to take 3 individual stamps and be able to group them together as if they were one stamp. Now, if I were to go and just stamp these out, I'm just going to do this on this scrap piece of paper here. And I only need to do 2 to demonstrate what I'm talking about. So if I were to just go ahead and stamp them, I'd have the overlap between the 2 stamps. So there's a technique called masking that will mask the one image, the image that you want to be at the front, and it will make it appear like the other images are behind it. So this is how we do it. Let's put this away. So first off, we're going to take that first stamp. Now I've already got ink on that stamp from that first stamping, so I'm just going to take a little baby wipe here and wipe my fingers off so that I'm not transferring it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp that first image, and I'm putting it right in the center. And then we're going to take that same image, and you can post or stamp it on a piece of copy paper. I've got a post-it note here. While I'm doing the next part, I'll just put the lid on the stamp pad. So putting the lid on your stamp pad helps it to not dry out. So I've got my image here. I'm just going to quickly cut around. You want to be fairly precise with this, because the better job you do at cutting it, the more accurate your mask is going to be. Now, having said that, right at the bottom here, these legs, I don't need to cut those out because they're just lines, so that's not going to matter. Almost there, just got to pop this little tiny bit out right here. All right, so I've got my mask here. Now, if I were to just lay this on top of here, it might work, but it also might shift and move around. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a glue that is removable. And Tombow Multi here is one of my favorite glues. If I put that onto the back of the paper and then just let it dry completely till it's clear, it's going to be like a tack-it or like a post-it note. So right now it's white. Once it's dried, it looks completely translucent, a little bit yellow, but that's what you want to it to look like. If there's any whiteness to it still, it's not dried and it's going to leave glue residue on your piece here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your little mask and you're going to cover your image, masking it. And typically if I make these masks, I just go and store them with my set, because often I'll want to do the same technique a couple times. And now I'm going to stamp this second guy. And then I'm going to stamp this third guy here. I got a little piece of the paper on the ink pad. I'll take that off in a second with some tweezers. All right, so now we've got our images stamped there. All you do now is lift this mask right off. And you'll notice I just did a squiggle line of that ink right on the back of there. It doesn't need to be completely covering it, just enough for it to hold while you are stamping is perfect. Now, before I move on, and before I forget to say it, I talked at the beginning about cleaning your stamps. Now, there's many different companies that make stamp scrubbers or stamp cleaners or whatever out there. Some of them have fuzzy part. There's my other one here. Some of them have the fuzzy part on both sides. Some of them have it just on one side. I'll just lift it up. Basically, if you have it on just one side, you're going to put your stamp cleaner on there. You're going to use that to scrub your stamp, and then you can use a paper towel to dry it. If you happen to have a scrubber that has it on both sides, you're going to use one side to clean, one side to dry. So I've got some stamp cleaner here. And you're going to use your cleaner while your stamp is still on the block. Rub it on the one side, rub it on the other side. And this one, because it's dry, it cleans your stamp off, and then you can put it away. And typically, because I was trying to show the masking, I took my stamps off before going to the next step. So typically you'd leave them on and you clean them as you go. but that's how to make it super simple to clean your stamps. I've got some ink on here because I've been doing permanent stuff with them, so I've got some permanent ink residue left on them from before. But stamp scrubbers are perfect for cleaning your stamps quick and easy, and if you happen to be doing a lot at one time, it's just a great thing to have out. And then before I forget, let's take that little piece of paper off of my ink pad there. Otherwise it'll interfere with future projects. All right, so there we go. That is how you mask your images, and it works with any image. The one thing I would caution against doing is images that are far too difficult to cut out. Typically simpler images, you're going to have more accuracy with your mask. But a great way to get an image and make it look like it's a group rather than 3 separate individual stamps. We'll see you in the next video.